This is the fractions packet part 3, shading and elaborating. Shade the amount stated. Heck, you'll have to draw extra lines. So we have 5/6, but there's only 3 parts here. So we have to make 6 parts. So to make 6 equal parts, we'll put a line in the middle of each of our parts here. Now we have 6 parts. From here, we want to shade in 5 of them. And that's it. You'll do that for the rest of these examples. Fill in each blank to make each statement true. So, we have something times 2 equals 8, and something else times 2 equals 12. Well, we know that 6 times 2 equals 12, because 12 divided by 2 is 6. Likewise, 8 divided by 2 is 4. So this is our blanks that we fill in. Now let's look at the next one. 4 times 3 is 12, and 7 times 3 is 21. 7 times something equals something, and 3 times something equals 15. That would be 5 because 3 times 5 is 15. Whatever you do down here, you have to do that up here as well. 7 times 5 is 35. So you'll do that same thing for all of these on this page. Let's look at some of them at the bottom. 1 times 2r is 2r. 2 times 2r is 4r. And the last one, 4 times something equals 12xyz. Well, there's no xyz here, so let's go ahead and write those in. 4 times 3 equals 12. So we're going to put 3xyz right here. And 3 times 3 is 9. So we have 9xyz. Let's turn the page. Distributive property. You multiply each term by the number on the outside. Let's do a FOIL and box review. So we have 3x plus 2 and 5x minus 7. So we'll put 3x up here and plus 2. And on the side we put 5x and minus 7. Multiply each of these together. 5x times 3x is 15xx, which is x squared. 5x times 2 is plus 10x. Negative 7 times 3x is negative 21x. And negative 7 times 2 is negative 14. Combine the like terms in the middle. 10x minus 21x is negative 11x. So your standard form would be 15x squared minus 11x minus 14. So this is your factored form, this is your standard form. Let's look at the examples here. Fill in each blank to make each statement true. So something times x minus 5 equals 3x minus 15. That would be 3, because 3 times x is 3x, and 3 times negative 5 is negative 15. Now something times x minus 5 equals 4x minus 20. That would be 4, because 4 times x is 4x, and 4 times negative 5 is negative 20. Let's do the next one. 2 times x minus 6. Distribute, multiply each term by 2. Be 2x minus 12. Same thing with the 5. Distribute, multiply each term by 5. So we have 5x minus 30. And let's do this one. 5 times something equals 15x plus 25. We know it's going to have two terms. One of them will have an x. We'll have a plus sign. 5 times something equals 25. 5 times 5. 5 times something equals 15. 5 times 3 equals 15. And then we write that right here at the top, because whenever we do it in one part of the fraction, we do it to the other. Okay, distribute, multiply each term by 3. You get 9x plus 15. Okay, try the rest of these on this page. And let's turn the page. Difference of squares is a squared minus b squared equals a minus b and a plus b. The conjugate of the square root of b plus a is the negative square root of b plus a. The conjugate of bi plus a is negative bi plus a. Basically, the reasons why we have conjugates is so we can get a sum of squares. So if you multiply the two conjugates together, you get a squared plus b squared, if it's i's. If it's radical symbols, it will be a squared minus b squared. Conjugates are used to change the denominators into each blank to make each statement true. So if something times the square root of 5 plus 6 equals 2 square root 5 plus 12, and then something times radical 5 plus 6 equals 31. If that says 11, go ahead and change it to 31. So the conjugate of the square root of 5 plus 6 would be negative square root 5 plus 6. Now at the top, we're going to multiply these by 2, because 2 times the square root of 5 is 2 square root of 5, and 2 times 6 is 12. Let's look at the next one. We have x, so we're going to multiply each term by x. We have 2x squared minus x square root 7. And then we have the conjugates. Since they're conjugates, they're going to be a difference of squares, so we have 2 times 2 is 4, x times x is x squared. The inner and outer terms will cancel, and so you have minus 7, because square root of 7 times negative square root of 7 is 7. So that's what you'd write right here. And let's look at the last one. The conjugate of square root of 7 minus 1 is negative square root 7 minus 1. Multiply each term by 3, you get negative 3 square root 7 minus 3. And let's do the next one, this one. The conjugate of 2 minus 5i is going to be 2 plus 5i. 2 times 3 is 6. And 3 times negative 5i is negative 15i. Okay, let's look at the next one. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times I is 3i. Here's our conjugates. We have 1 squared plus I squared, which that's negative 1. We just have 1 plus 1, that's 2. And the last one, our conjugate of 4i minus 1 is negative 4i minus 1. Distribute, multiply each term by 6 to get negative 24i minus 6. Do the rest of these on this page on your own or in your groups. Let's turn to the next page. Half of even and odd numbers. So let's find half of these even numbers. Half of 2 is 1. Half of 4 is 2. Half of 6 is 3. Half of 8 is 4, and so on. Let's do half of odd numbers. Half of 1 is 1/2, also known as 0.5. Here's a way you can do these. Half of 3, you can split it up as half of 1 and half of 2. You split the half as 1 plus 1 less than this number, which will be even. Half of 1 is 1/2. Half of 2 is 1. So half of 3 is 1 and 1/2. Let's look at 25. We have half of 1 and half of 24. Half of 24 is 12. Half of 1 is 1/2. So half of 25 is 12 and 1/2. Let's do one more. Half of 49. Do half of 1 and half of 48. Half of 48 is 24 and half of 1 is 1/2. So half of 49 is 24 and 1/2. Okay, now do the rest of this packet on your own or in your groups and turn it in today.